We're in Southern California, which means sunshine, beautiful women, and the country's best drifting. Now, we're gonna get to the tandem battles in a minute, but first, my man Big C is chopping it up with the guys over the car show.
All right, Rossi, I saw this and thought of you, man. What's your name, man?
Ben, Abutin.
Now, tell my boy Rossi up in the booth what your car is, man, because I think it's too much for Formula D.
Well, it's a Nissan 350Z. It's a 2003 model. We did a custom wide body in the car. It's based on the JGTC wide body. It's custom made. I have the mold for it. The wheels is like HRE. It's custom made. It's a 6-inch lip on the back.
What size are those rims, man?
It's 19 by 13 on the rear and 19 by 10.5 on the front.
Okay, and bottom line on the car, man, how much power is the motor putting out with the Power Enterprise twin turbo?
At 7 pounds, about almost 400 horsepower.
All right, Formula D. Now, I really found a guy that you are gonna have to watch out for. What's your name, man?
Lance Feliciano.
You in the car show this year. You said you want to be out there next year. Tell us about the car and why it should be on the other side of the guardrail.
Well, basically, we set up this car basically for drifting. It's not street legal. We set up the motor to pull about 450 horsepower. The car was actually built by J-Spec, and the roll cage is 14-point roll cage. It's like a jungle gym in there.
All right, good luck. We want to see you out there, man.
The first of our tandem battles is here. This is where our drifters become gladiators, Irwindale becomes a coliseum, and all hell breaks loose. The course here at Irwindale Speedway is world famous. Competitors have a long straight that turns into the first initiation point just about halfway through the big bank turn. Judges want people to stay high on the bank and then drive down and flick the car to the right and hit the first clipping point. After the first clip, drivers have to transition back to the left for a big left-hand sweeper and another clipping point. The drivers then transition back to the right for one last clipping point and then line up to hear the judges' call. Our first two competitors in the final event of the Formula Drift Championship season begin with the Kiwi, Mad Skills RHYS MILLEN and the Team RMR Pontiac GTO. He's taking on privateer CONRAD GRUNEWALD in the Motorsport Dynamics 240 SX. RHYS comes into this round only 11 points ahead of the #2 drifter, Sam Cubinet. In order to take the championship, RHYS has to beat GRUNEWALD in this round and keep advancing. Let's get with J-Rod to give us the play-by-play.
All motor versus 4-cylinder turbo. RHYS already initiating drift. CONRAD straightening out a little bit. Whoa, RHYS, CONRAD. RHYS looking a little sketchy towards the wall of death, but maintains his drift. CONRAD right behind him, though. Not too far. RHYS had a really good line.
RHYS Mad Skills MILLEN versus CONRAD GRUNEWALD. CONRAD GRUNEWALD did really well in his hometown of Houston, Texas. Now resides in Northern California. Seems that driving school training has been put to good use. CONRAD already initiated a solid drift. RHYS MILLEN, Mr. Consistent. Let's see how he fares against CONRAD. Good flick of the wrist from CONRAD and RHYS. RHYS reeling him back in. CONRAD throwing some good smoke in RHYS's face. RHYS not even affected. Definitely living up to his name, Mr. Mad Skills MILLEN, the Kiwi, RHYS MILLEN with the win.
On the first run, MILLEN was able to pull away and stay well out in front of GRUNEWALD. On the second run, GRUNEWALD looked awesome, but RHYS stuck to him, driving through the smoke and on to the next round.
What a way to start off this event. That was amazing. How are you feeling?
Great, you know, that gives me the confidence that we can run really, really close to the other competitors and hopefully keep the momentum going to the final. You know, this whole year has been about building points, building strategy, and I just about threw it away at the last event, but after qualifying #1, having a great first round, I'm smiling finally for the first time today.
I see that and I like it.
Lining up now for the second battle in our round of 16 is the blonde from Japan, Yokonobu Okubo, driving the world-famous Signal Auto Nissan against the turbo boost of DERRICK RODGERS and the Cooper Tires kit replica.
RODGERS, another American muscle versus JDM import. Derek Rogers working the steering wheel, correcting back and forth. Okubo pulling away. Looking real good with good angle. Derek Rogers working that front steering wheel. Look at the wheels correcting. Derek Rogers swinging wide off that clipping point. Okubo being real nimble through the S-curve. Okubo's got the advantage. Here goes Derek Rogers. Let's see how he does in the Cooper tires. Firebird. Ganobo Okubo. Look at him catch up to him on the bank. Okubo. Derek Rogers. Back and forth. Derek getting out of shape. Okubo right behind him. Okubo's right on Derek Rogers, not going for the pass. Oh, he comes in. Oh, Derek hits the tires. Derek hits the tires, forcing Okubo out. Oh! Okubo moves on to the grade A.
In the first run, Okubo was able to pull away and keep a smooth but constant gap between the S13 and the kit car, which had to keep correcting. On the second run, Okubo was able to match Rogers until he just about passes Knight Rider on the outside of the last turn, forcing Rogers to spin. After our first battle in the round of 16, Signal Auto's Okubo is moving on, and Mad Skills Rhys Millen is one step closer to taking the event and the season. Coming up after the break, we've got more from our round of 16, and my man Big C is getting blacklisted from the Need for Speed Most Wanted tournament.